Hi everyone, welcome back. Do you like onions? Do you like onion soup? Well, that's what we're making today. This is a French onion soup casserole. Oh, and is it ever good? So if you like all those ingredients, you're really going to love this casserole. So let's get to it and get our stuff out. Right off the bat, we need some French bread. You know what? I got ciabatta bread. I think it worked out better. Some milk, a little bit of soy sauce, some onions. Oh, there's a whole story behind that. We've got 3 yellow onions, can of cream of chicken soup, and a couple cups of Gruyere cheese. You can use Swiss if you need to, and a little bit of butter. So the onions. I've got 3 ginormous onions there. You can use 3 sweet onions or 4 of the onions. I probably could have thrown the other onion in. I only ended up using the 2. I'm sure it would have been fine with 3. As a matter of fact, I know it would have been. I just thought it was way too big. So we work with what we've got. So we put a little bit of butter in our frying pan. And we're going to saute up our onions. That's just a little bit of oil to keep the butter from turning brown. Seems to work all right. In go our onions. And I'm almost positive I could have thrown that extra big onion in. Mix them around. Now we're going to cook these down until they turn translucent and then start getting brown. Meanwhile, here's our bread. We're going to cut it in the slices we need. And we're going to end up using the whole loaf. So they have these nice little dents on them. I thought that would be perfect, except I made them a little smaller than that. I wanted to make sure that the bread was going to fit the casserole dish. So here's our onions. They're starting to get a little translucent. They still got a couple, 3 more minutes to go until they really start cooking down. But it's coming. Now you can see here they look nice and soft. They're starting to get brown on the bottom in little bits and pieces. That's what we want. So we're going to take that off the stove. And basically we're ready to start putting our casserole together. So here's our dish. Nice big glass dish. Spray it up so it doesn't get too sticky on the bottom. And in goes all our onions. That's pretty simple. Now we're just going to kind of move them around and even it out in the bottom of the baking dish. Just like that. Put it aside. Next up, we need a measuring cup because I know this just doesn't work without. 2/3 cup of milk. Ish. If you want a little more liquidy, you can. In goes our can of cream of chicken. It doesn't come out one big blob like cream of mushroom usually does. So I got my spatula out just to get it all out of the can. That's supposed to be 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. Yeah, that was probably a tablespoon and a half. Mix it around. And we're going to put that aside for a sec. Now we're going to put our cheese down. Not all of it. Save a little bit for the top. Probably about 2/3 of it. So out of 2 cups of shredded Gruyere or Swiss, you can use Swiss too. That's our next layer. Now we're going to pour that cream of chicken milk mixture on top. Looking good so far. And then our bread. Our bread goes on next. I'm trying to get them to stay the right way so it fits in the pan. But into the oven this is going to go. 350 uncovered for 15 minutes. And here we are out after the 15-minute mark. The tops of our bread are nice and crispy. They don't look super brown, but they're just starting to. So what you do is you take that nice crispy bread and you flip it upside down. Get some of that nice sauce on top. I thought maybe I could spoon a little bit on, but that didn't really work out so good. But it still looks good. So now we're going to put whatever's left over of the cheese on top. It's not a ton, and nor do you need a ton, unless you want it. Put more on. Now this is I got to get my oven mitts on because that dish is pretty hot. Back in the oven another 15 minutes. And here we are, the finished product. Look at how nice and golden brown it is. This is a great meal. We're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes because A, it's easier for me to handle, and 2, do you really want to burn the top of your mouth off trying to eat this fresh out of the oven? No. Did you know even with pizza, when it comes out of the oven at the store, you're supposed to let it sit 5-10 minutes? And even then, you can still scald the top of your mouth. So I got a plate. We've got our one piece of bread and a bunch of the onions we spooned on top. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? Oh, but wait till you try it. We just need a fork. It is good. And it's so simple to make. It's great for a side dish or great for a meal. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.